welcome back to Sunday Brunch Live. I think we're going to enjoy this next item. We're joined by Adam Richmond, as well as Scott Munro and James Douglas from Red's True BBQ. I assume you're going to show us barbecuing today.
Yeah, we're going to go through some ribs, actually. So we've got a masterclass in pork ribs and beef ribs.
Okay. So we're quite obsessed, aren't we, in this country now? You know, and possibly your fault for all of this.
Thank you for that, by the way.
Everyone references it when they come in the restaurant. Everyone's like, "You see Man versus Food?" We're like, a couple of times.
Yeah, but because we've always eaten ribs, but in the last few years we're obsessed. I mean, because I invented pulled pork on this show. Right. So it now seems that
Thank you again.
Thanks for that.
Yeah.
State of North Carolina, I would like a word with you.
Yeah. So why are we obsessed with them?
It's because it's hearty food that it's got a great price point. You know, we've been through difficult times. I think it's an easy access point. And it just makes you feel, it's like it's heartwarming. And, you know, winter's kind of a cold season, and to get some heartwarming, meat inside of you, there's nothing wrong with that at all. And everyone seems to, get on with it.
There's also a lot of effort goes into it, so rather than just kind of like chopping it up, whacking it in a pan, firing it straight out, you've got there's loads of love goes into it, so you've got 6 hours, 12 hours, brisket's like 23 hours, so people feel that they've done, a lot to get to the point of when they can eat it, so.
So you've got different ribs here. Are you going to talk us through what the difference is between them?
Yeah, just quickly. So again, these are the pork ribs over here, and then these are the beef ribs, and then we're actually going to get you guys to do a little bit of an activity today. So
okay, cool.
Hope you got your knife skills.
So the baby backs, the ones that we all know.
Yes, well, you'll know these ones here because you can get these in most supermarkets. These are a slightly different one. They've got a bit more loin on top of them here. I'm just going to take this off here, and I'm going to show you a little bit of a strategy. When you cook any type of rib, pork rib, it's a really good strategy to take the back membrane off. And what that means is that you can get a bit more smoke into the back of it, and if you put in a rub on it, the flavour gets right into the middle of the meat. So a good little trick there. I think I might have done one of them already. So that you can see here has already got the membrane on it. That one here has had it taken off, and you see how that fat's a lot more gelatinous now. So the smoke and all the heat can get right through and cook the meat real good.
Okay, and then the St. Louis ones. Now these are becoming more and more popular, aren't they? Which are bigger fellas. So where do they come
I think Adam's going to jump in here. It's actually St. Louis. It's actually.
I used to live there, so I'm biased. It's just so funny hearing barbecue spoken about with those accents. So
yeah,
I'm already. The smoker. Yeah, of course.
Well, you're right though. The St. Louis is a different cut. We spend a lot of time sourcing our meat, and this isn't the type of rib that you can find in the UK very easily. So what it is it's actually based on this puppy here, which is a full spare rib.
Yeah.
Now these full spare ribs are really difficult to find. What we tend to do is we recommend using what's called a country rib. Now this country rib you can get in the UK. It's the same quality meat as this, and it follows the same cooking process. So if you want to try barbecue at home and you want to go traditional non-baby backs, you want to go something like this, which is called the country rib.
Okay.
So what we do here is, to make a St. Louis rib cut, is we slice off what's called the rib tips, and that's this piece of meat over here, and we square it off, and then we smoke it for about 6 or 7 hours over hickory, and that's a slice of St. Louis cut over there. So you see how I squared it off, get rid of all those feather bones that go down the side here, which means that you don't gnaw on all those kind of plasticky type bone things, and it's just 100% meat and bone.
How do you decide on what wood you smoke with here? Because in the States, it's what grows in that area.
Yeah, I mean, hickory is a natural go-to wood, so we import all of our hickory from the US, and we also do we do a local blend of apple and cherry, and a little bit of oak as well. So we have our own little blends of wood.
Very cool.
Okay,
yeah.
so that's the pork ribs, and then the beef ribs, which are becoming more and more popular in the UK.
Yeah, there's a couple of beauties here actually. We love beef ribs. Not many people do beef ribs these days, and sometimes it's really hard to get a really good cut, especially when you look at something as impressive as that. It's a bit of a Freddie Flintstone type moment, that, isn't it? But this is it's a dinosaur rib cut. It's got a little bit of brisket on the end of it, and I mean that'll take about 8 hours to cook in a slow smoker. And then these big boys over here. Now this is it's a beef rib, otherwise known as Jacob's ladder, for obvious reasons. It's got about 9 bones in it, and it's a pretty hefty piece of meat. I've only got one glove on, so I'm having to do this very carefully. But on the back here, you see that membrane? You don't want to take that membrane off when you're cooking this piece of meat, because what happens is all the meat comes off the bone. It's just too heavy for that cut.
Also, it dries it out a little bit. If you take the membrane off, you can dry it out with the longer process. So.
All right. Okay. So what do we do? What else you got for us? You said we've got an activity.
We do, yeah. So we've got some ribs that we're going to get you guys to trim off. So at the moment, this is a raw product. What you want to do is, as you can tell, I've started to take off a little bit of the. You see this kind of this sinewy fat on the top here. So what you want to do is you want to get.
Timothy, I've done this many times.
Okay,
I think
I'll
Actually, Tim, we've got some other ribs for you to trim today.
Okay.
And it's right over here. These are chicken ribs that we've got for you to trim, and the rest of the guys can do all the big ones as well.
We thought you'd get something a bit easier. We've got a couple that we've done already.
The end product is something similar to that.
Yeah. All right, I'll stick to this one.
Okay, fair enough. We understand. All right then. So, do you guys also want to do? Adam, do you want to do one as well?
Sure.
Sure. Okay. Let me just get this knife over here.
We're just taking the fat cap off.
You're going to take the fat cap off, which is kind of a sinewy fat cap, and then we're going to do a little bit of a rub afterwards, and then that should be good.
So what do you want the guys to do? Just take off as much of the
Basically, if you can just try and get like some of this off, what you want to do is make sure that you're keeping some of the fat on. So you get the really sort of tough stuff off here, and then you start to get into the sort of, you know, the slightly thicker. And this will all render down. So because we cook them for so long, that's where the fat means flavour basically. So you get the hard stuff off, and then leave a little thin layer of it. And some of these you'll trim off these bigger bits, and you know.
If you're going to go buy these from your butcher, would you get your butcher to do this for you? If you're not,
you could do, but it kind of, you know, when we first started out, we'd go to the butchers and we're getting loads of different kind of, you know, cuts of meat, and that's kind of where we got onto the country rib, and it's better to, you know a little bit more about what you're cooking with rather than just.
We are running out of time, sort of fairly rapidly, chaps, and we want to try some as well. So the rub, what is going to go into the rub?
Right, so we've got some sea salt, we've got mustard powder, ancho chili, we've got some paprika and crackback pepper. So you kind of get all that in. But the thing with rubs is kind of don't be shy with it. Make sure that you really get your fingers in there and you're really pushing it into the meat. A lot of people just kind of pat it on and throw it back into the oven, but you really have to kind of really push it in. But this is a fairly basic one. You don't want to go like too overboard with a beef rub because you don't want to overpower it.
To impress you, actually.
All right. So then it's kind of rubbed right into his rib itself.
Yeah.
I haven't got enough of that off, have I? Or have I?
No, you need a more. It renders down anyway, so don't panic too much. That's that's a really good effort.
Do you guys use any particular British flavors and stuff? Because that was the thing that I always think was really fascinating when I did Memphis in May, that you would see, the guys who were coming from the tropics would use pineapple. The guys who were coming from Carolina or from Kentucky would use bourbon or would use like moonshine. Do you guys use any of that stuff?
Yeah, I mean, one of the examples that we figured today would be quite interesting is to bring a little bit of a sweet note, sweet and hot. So you've actually pointed out our kind of next bit over here. So we actually add raspberry-style barbecue sauce.
Well, obviously, you can do like your standard barbecue sauce, like the, Kansas City and stuff. But if you want to kind of go with beef, then you want something a little bit fruity, a little bit sharp. So you've got some raspberries, some raspberry jam there, sugar, garlic granules, onion granules, bit of chili for some kick. You've got black pepper, mustard, ketchup. Red wine vinegar, honey, get it all into a bowl.
Oh, and pickle juice as well.
Oh, pickle juice, I was going to get to that.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So rather than just using like a white wine vinegar, fire in the pickle juice. We do like loads of stuff with pickle juice in the restaurant, try not to sort of throw it away, but get it all in, simmer it about an hour, let it cool.
Okay. And we're running out of time. Can we taste anything? That's more importantly. The end result. So we have our rub that we cook. We've got our sauces that we've got there. What are we going to taste before
These are the beef long ribs, or AKA Jacob's Ladder. So these have been probably cooking for. We pre-smoked them in our barbecue, and the way we did it was we put a little bit of these chips into some tin foil or in one of these. This is, I think, an old syrup kind of case. Yeah. And all you do is you just put it on the side of your barbecue over here.
Can we taste it?
Yeah, of course, we'll do it right now. Come on, let's do this. Okay, so let's go across the grain over here a little bit.
Memories, Mr. Richmond. Memories.
Such memories. I think this is a secret attempt to poison the rest of World Squad. I haven't been eating ribs.
There's 3 for you there, guys. Do you want to just smash them up, or do you want me to slice a little piece off here?
Go primal,
Eat from the
Sorry about all the juiciness.
Cheers. Thank you. No, my name is Adam. I know a thing or two about ribs.
That smells delicious. Before I taste it, thank you, Scott and James. And you can find details for all of that on the scrapbook. Now, in just a minute, we're chatting to Ross Leach. But first, here he is with his